Monday. My name is Susan and I am the Education Manager at Green Venture, and this is our first episode of EcoHouse at home. EcoHouse is not open right now. I'm at home, just like all the rest of you. So I thought we could do an activity together about energy. We talk a lot about using less energy to help fight climate change, but did you ever think about the energy of your stuff? Things like socks and water bottles and books and stuffed animals and headphones all use stuff. So we're going to spend a couple minutes and do an activity thinking about how much energy does our stuff actually use. Does my water bottle use energy? I don't plug it in anywhere. It doesn't have a battery. But this uses energy in every stage of its life. So right now what I want you to do, you can go ahead and pause the video for a minute, is you need to grab 8 scraps of paper and something to write with. So go ahead, grab 8 scraps of paper, they don't have to be big, and something to write with. I'll wait. Go ahead. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, great. So you have 8 pieces of paper and something to write with. When we're thinking about how much energy our stuff uses, we need to think about its whole life cycle. I know it's hard to think about a water bottle or a t-shirt as having a life cycle, but everything has a life cycle. So think back to kindergarten, the life cycle of a butterfly or the life cycle of a sunflower plant. What is the very first thing that needs to happen in a life cycle? Think about it. That's right. If it's alive, it needs to be born. But if it's made, something we buy, it has to be produced. So the raw materials are collected, whatever it takes to make the stuff, and then that is all collected in a factory and your object is made. So somewhere in a factory, this water bottle was created. So that is the first part of its life cycle. So on one of those pieces of paper, I want you to write the word made. If you want to draw a factory, go ahead, but I suggest you pause the video to do that. So your first piece of paper needs to say made. The first part of any of your stuff's life is that it is made. What happens next? This water bottle was not made in Hamilton, which is where I am. So what is the next thing that has to happen after it's made? That's right. It needs to be moved. It needs to be distributed or transported from where it was made to where it is going to be sold. So whether that's by boat or by truck or by train or by airplane, it has to move. So on your second piece of paper, I want you to write the word move. Again, you can draw if you prefer, but I would pause the video to do that. So first, our stuff is made, and then our stuff is moved. Awesome. All right, what comes next? Well, life is not over for this water bottle yet. We made it, we moved it to Canada, here in Hamilton, so that I can buy it or be given it. So the next part of our life cycle of our stuff is use. You buy it at a store, you take it home, and you use it. You put your socks on your feet, you turn your iPad on, you drink out of your water bottle, you're using your stuff. So on your third piece of paper, write the word use. We made it, we moved it, now we're going to use it. And what is the very last thing that happens in the life cycle of our stuff? Yeah, that's not the end of it. That's right. Every single thing that you buy or give as a gift or receive as a present is eventually thrown out. So our very last part of our life cycle is waste. Garbage, you throw it out. So on your fourth piece of paper, go ahead and write the word garbage. Every single thing you buy, every single thing you give as a present or get as a gift will go in the garbage eventually. No matter how many times you share it or give it away, eventually it is garbage. Every single thing that's made. Okay. So you should have 4 pieces of paper. One should say made, one should say moved, one should say use, and one should say garbage. That is the life cycle of stuff. Now, your next 4 pieces of paper, I want you to write some numbers on. This is how much energy stuff can use, all right? So we'll ignore the units of measurement for a minute. First, I want you to write down on one of your scraps, 33. 33, first number. Next number I want you to write is 913. 913. Next number is 156. 156. And your last number is 11. So you should have 4 scraps of paper that say 11, 33, 913, and 156. Now these are all kilograms of CO2 emitted. So CO2 is a greenhouse gas. And that goes up into the atmosphere, and that is making one of the gases that's making climate change worse. So each one of these numbers, the unit of measurement, is kilograms of CO2 sent up into the atmosphere. Because every part of our life cycle of our stuff uses energy, even if I'm not plugging it in, even if it doesn't have a battery. So now what I want you to do is we're going to forget about this water bottle. It's really hard to find these energy numbers online. I don't know how much energy went into making this water bottle, but I do know how much energy went into making an Xbox One because the company released that information online. So we're going to use the numbers for the Xbox One. All those numbers I just gave you are the true energy numbers that go into each part of the life of an Xbox One. So your job, and you can pause the video for a minute, is to try to match all these numbers I just gave you, these 11, 33, 9, 13, 156. Take those numbers and make a guess. Where do you think they go? Do you think 11 kilograms of CO2 is how much it takes to throw it out, or to use it, or to make it, or move it? Match the numbers with the parts of the life cycle. Just do your best guess. Nobody knows the answers to these except for me, and that's because I have the answer sheet. Pause it if you need a minute. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Now that you've made your guess, let's see how it is. It's okay to be wrong. So for an Xbox One, the energy cost for each part of its life to make an Xbox One is 156 kilograms of CO2 emitted. To move it, to transport it, 33 kilograms of CO2. To use your Xbox, 913 kilograms of CO2. That's not every time you turn it on, that's for its whole life. And to throw it out at the end when you're all done with it, or recycle it, is 11 kilograms of CO2. So that's a lot of energy that goes into the life of an Xbox, and all of your stuff uses energy at every part of its life. So next week, we're going to have a look at how we can shop and buy and use things differently so that we're using less energy and sending less greenhouse gases up into the atmosphere, meaning that we are trying not to make climate change worse, but we're trying to do our part to bring those numbers down. Take care. See you guys later.